We went through the comment section and pulled together the most frequently asked questions from aspiring global citizens, entrepreneurs, digital nomads, high net worth individuals. But whether you're planning a move, you want to build an international strategy, or you just want to know your options, this video is going to clear up what most people get wrong or overcomplicate. Hi, this is Jeremy from the Millionaire Migrant. Here we help digital nomads, entrepreneurs, global citizens, ultra high net worth people. We help all these people to try and take advantage of all the opportunities to get absolute maximum financial freedom. Let's look at the first comment. Hi, can you advise second passport for an IT/finance/business intelligence Indian employee? Okay, well, you've probably seen the news regarding Malta. We did a video on that. You can see it's a very fluid situation. We'll see how Malta amends its program to appease the European Union that is not in favor of it. So we'll see how that pans out. In the meantime, you can actually, by the way, you can actually do Malta residency, because it's very clear you can do Malta residency, and then by the time that they find some kind of middle ground between the EU and Malta, you're good to go for the citizenship because you've already done the residency part, which you have to do anyway at the beginning. So that's something that I think a lot of people are looking at right now, and we've spoken with the team, and we believe that that is the best strategy, and we realize that a few other companies are also doing it, people who have experience, that is. If you want to go for something that is a little bit less expensive, you've got St. Kitts and Nevis, you've got Grenada, you've got Antigua. I'd probably say St. Kitts and Grenada right now, as of today, are the fastest. Given that now all the prices are pretty much the same, St. Kitts and Grenada are pretty fast. I'd say about 6 to 8 months, I would say. Strong passports, good passports, well run, people in charge are good. So I'd say those options. If you don't want to do that and you don't want residency, you can look at Portugal, super popular. Yes, it's taking a long time, but you invest your money, you do the program. Once you get your nationality, you can take your funds out. So do the calculation, the ROI is very, very good. Number 2, if you are married to a Portuguese citizen but non-EU British citizen, will it be easy for you to get a permit? So this was a comment that came up in our video where I was talking about Portugal, the harsh truth. I love Portugal, I think it's fantastic, but it's imperfect. No country is perfect. And I explained a lot about my personal experiences of Portugal as a resident, as a tax resident, as a property investor, as a company owner, as an employer. I invested also in a fund there. So that's my personal experiences. And as much as I'm not a fan of the EU and Europe, it hurts me as a European to see the direction that all those countries are going. The great thing about Europe is you have a lot of legislation that protects you. You have a lot of rule of law, which is why a lot of people are suing IMA to get their biometric appointments, and it works because you have rights. So yes, the answer is that yes, you're eligible for family reunification. It's in one of the articles in the immigration law. I don't know which article it is, but the guys will pull it up. So as a spouse of a Portuguese citizen, you can apply for a residence for a family member of an EU citizen, even though you're from outside the EU. So yes is the short answer. Number 3, love to learn more about the expedited path to citizenship for Paraguay when you flesh out the best path. Okay, so this is from the video that I did about how to get residency in Paraguay. I visited Paraguay last year. I'm going to be going back again this year. I think it's really fascinating what's going on down there because I see a lot of potential parallels that could happen in Paraguay, as similar was the story with Singapore and UAE. That sounds like a massive gold rush. No, it's not going to be the UAE and Singapore, but there are some similarities. So to go back to your point, according to the citizenship law, you can apply for citizenship after 3 years. So I already started the process. We'll see what happens in 3 years' time. But it's 3 years from the point that you got your PR. So I recently got my PR. You need to spend a minimum of 183 days per year in Paraguay every year for 3 years, or, and this is the nice part, make ties to the country, such as pay your taxes, your social security, purchase a property, learn Paraguayan history and Spanish. Now, I see people talk about getting the Paraguay passport. It remains I think it's too early to be talking about this because other people say it's not really a citizenship program. Me and my team are digging deeper to see if it is. I think it's not a straightforward program. I think it's just do it, take some exposure to Paraguay, and if you end up getting a passport, it's a very good passport as well. But yeah, I'll be going to look at property opportunities there. I've already got my analyst that is going to be going out in 1 month's time, and yeah, watch the video, see what we do. So subscribe on Millionaire Migrant and see how it happens in Paraguay. Okay, next comment is for passive income in brackets, rental, which market would you recommend? This came from the video I think that we did between Dubai and real estate. I think rented income, it's not really the UK. The taxes are kind of, they're just killing that. Same within Europe by and large. Rental income, US is still decent. I've done US in the past in 3 states. I don't do it anymore. I think if you're looking at UAE is still good. Traditionally, it was apartments that you would rent for better. I did short term as well as long term. So long term, you'd be getting around 7. Short term, you get about 9, something like that. But what's happening is the supply of apartments coming on the market is bringing this down. And this is why I sold on my apartments last month. And the reason being is that you can just start to see it soften as the supply starts to come on. I mean, just as one part in the marina, they're building 27 buildings. And I have a couple of friends of mine, like, I didn't know about that. It's like, dude, just check the map. There's 27 apartment buildings with what, 100, 150 apartments in each one. That's a lot of supply. So if you're looking for yield, which is what I always do, I don't go for capital appreciation. Long story short, you do the yield and the capital appreciation will follow because people will invest on it because the yield is strong. I would say Georgia, I wasn't really looking at Georgia at the time, but Georgia seems to be getting pretty decent yields long term now, not short term. Short term, you're making crazy money, but you're looking more at long term. So that's one place. Off the top of my head, I'd say probably those 2 countries would be the places to focus on. I think if the thing with the UAE now is that villas have never really been great. You're getting about 5-6% return. But I would say there's other commercial property. Commercial property, if it's maybe a bit tough to find commercial property right now, but that's a great place to make yield. I invested in that. I've done extremely well. Question number 5, next one. What is your opinion between Panama and Argentina? I am looking for a place to retire outside of Canada. And that's the video that we did between should you apply for Panama tax residency. Okay, well, straight away, Argentina is not tax-friendly jurisdiction. It's a place if you want to spend 2-3 months a year and just come and go, and that's fine, have a pied-à-terre. A lot of people think that it's a sleeping giant in terms of real estate and green shoots of growth. So that could be a place, and it's a charming place, great wine country as well. Tax, if you're looking at tax, it's going to be Panama. It doesn't have to be Panama. You could also look at Paraguay as another tax-friendly jurisdiction as well. But it's really apples and pears. I mean, it really depends on you and what you're personally looking for. Panama is very tax-friendly. I met a lot of expats out there. They love it out there. You know, if they feel like they want a bit of the US, it's 2-hour flight to Miami. I think it's really a personal preference. So I can't really advise on that type of thing. Obviously, one is more tax-friendly. The other one has a lot of charm. Not that Panama doesn't have charm, but it's just smaller. It's a lot more humid as well. And Argentina is really far away from a lot of things. And also, it's just a personal preference thing. Number 6, next question. How about a video on Dubai versus Abu Dhabi? Okay, which is better value? The pros and cons for Westerners. So this is after the video we did Move Here for a Better Quality of Life in 2025. Abu Dhabi is quieter than Dubai by quite some distance. I don't see that ever changing. I think people who like Abu Dhabi like it because of that, and they find that Dubai is not really for them. I know that I have been a resident in Dubai for a long time, but I also live a fairly quiet life. It's not all the stuff that you see on social media and on TV. So you can also have that life in the UAE, in Dubai, as opposed to what you see on TV. And you can get it in Abu Dhabi. I think the difference is probably the cost of living in Abu Dhabi is a lot less. And the reason being is just Dubai is just, despite all the construction supply that is coming on, there's also construction supply in Abu Dhabi. I think in Abu Dhabi, you are going to find that there's a lot of institutional capital moving there. You'll see a lot of the hedge funds are going there, your Goldman Sachs, your BlackRocks. You will get those in the IFC, which is already maxed out and they're building the IFC 2.0. But Abu Dhabi is going to be quieter, and I know friends of mine who live there and they really like it that way. Dubai, I kind of have to be here because we have a lot of clients coming in and out, and we enjoy it as well. But I think it's more family. Not that there isn't family in Dubai. I have a family as well. But I think for Westerners, it's just a different pace of life. You'll just feel it immediately. If you're not really sure, don't make the mistake of when I, traveled and when I went to Portugal and I rented in the wrong place and I was stuck there for 6 months because of the contracts in Portugal. That's how it works. Try a bit both. Spend a couple of months in Abu Dhabi, spend it in Dubai. But remember, within those 2 cities, there are also different areas. There are quiet areas in Dubai where you can go to your local pub, restaurant, coffee shop as well. Next question, question number 7. How long does it take for applications for Turkish passport? Is it faster than the Caribbean CBI? This is the video which has said why I was wrong about Turkey's passport. It's taken around the same time. about 6 to 9 months. Same time as St. Kitts, same time as Grenada, Dominica as well, 6 to 9 months as well. The others are taking longer. So yeah, I would say similar time frame. Passports is it's really interesting, the power of a Turkish passport. I had a client come in the other day, and he was explaining a lot of the benefits of that he's discovered having got the Turkish passport. Obviously back then it was $250,000, now it's $400,000. So there is a tiny bit more opportunity cost being lost on doing Turkey. It's really up to the clients. I think also you can't really compare apples with pears, because with Turkey there's much less government fees involved. In the Caribbean, if you do want to do real estate, which is you have to be really selective. Can I be very diplomatic about what you buy in the Caribbean? I was speaking with some other professionals in my space at a conference this week, and they shared the same opinion. You've got to be really careful in buying real estate in the Caribbean. Whereas Turkey, you can pretty much buy anything you want. The market is quiet in Turkey, I would tell you this, and the reason being is that it's got hyperinflation. It's at 40% interest rates, 45, 50%. So the market is very quiet, but you will get, as long as you don't get too much of a haircut when you sell it in the minimum hold time of 3 years, you could be getting nearly all your money back. So you won't get that in the Caribbean. Question number 8, next one. What puzzles me, is there a time restriction attached to buying a property under the MM2H program, the Malaysian program? This is because of the video that I did regarding the Malaysian MM2H. Yes, there is a 12-month window upon receiving your approval. So short answer. Question number 9. Hi, does this golden opportunity to buy extend to rentals? If I'm looking to rent a property for 12 months, would I be better off waiting for July/August? This is the best time to buy in Dubai video that I did. The simple answer is yes, you should look to rent in Dubai. Just like the property market quietens down in the July and August for buying, the same principle applies. There's just less people around. A lot of decision makers are not around. I made sure that all the properties that I rent out in the UAE, I would not have the renewal date in the summer. I make them all, if it happened to be a renewal time in the summer, I would make it a 15-month contract. Yes, not all tenancy agreements need to be 12 months. You can do 9, you can do 15, you can do longer. So I would make them 15 months so that I would do the renewal in probably October onwards, because there you would get greater return. So that's a little tip there if you're already a property owner. Question number 10, great content. Thank you. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Great content. If we obtain residency in Oman by purchasing an apartment, and if we spend less than 6 months in Oman every year, assuming all income is generated outside of Oman, will the income tax affect us? So as long as you spend less than 6 months in Oman and more than 6 months in any other country, then the answer is no. Simple, straightforward answer. It's the same applies to a lot of countries. Oman is now, obviously it has the income tax, which they just brought in. That is, now that UAE has corporate tax as well. You can see Qatar also the same. Tax is coming, it's coming literally everywhere, but that's because the people are coming, because again, let them charge a little bit of tax, let them diversify the economy, let me get more taxable revenue from citizens and from companies, because those people are moving and they're coming to the UAE or they're coming to Singapore and Asia, and where are they coming from? They're coming from North America, Canada, Europe, and the UK. I mean, the data proves this. I hope that you're enjoying me answering all your questions. This is only part 1, so stay tuned. We'll do part 2, where we'll be answering another 10 questions, which all of our viewers have requested an answer for. Please go to millionairemigrant.com, the website, or subscribe to the video. I will be giving you as much as possible from all the resources and network that I have to help you to make the best decisions for your future financial freedom. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next slide.